Today I'm making short ribs. Sear those, add a variety of vegetables. I know a lot of recipes they'll call for everything from onions and carrots and garlic and just the traditional vegetables are the ones I just mentioned. Potatoes you can put in, tomato paste, but today we're going to use what you have at home, and often you can produce just as many delicious flavors without all the traditional ingredients, but just some of your basics. The meat, of course, today I'm using fresh banana peppers, carrots, and garlic, and Yukon Gold potatoes. I personally like all my vegetables to be in chunks because I like to enjoy them what we call al dente, to the tooth. So there's still a little bit of a bite, but also something like short ribs where it's going to be in the oven 2 to 4 hours, depending on their size or the kind of tenderness that you want, but minimum 2.5 hours. The vegetables will tend to break down, and when they're cooking, when they're larger in size, they'll tend to take longer to break down, and hopefully they're going to, by the time you're ready to enjoy them, they'll still have some nice texture to it, and they're not going to be completely mushed. Now today I don't have tomato paste, so I'm using ketchup. I'm using fresh thyme. This is from my oven. It's from my garden. But I'm just going to put it into a pot hole, because then it's easier to take out some of some of those fresh herbs where we're just adding it in for flavor. Then we're going to take it out afterwards, or you can leave it in there, and whoever's enjoying it can just move that herb to the side. But whatever the case is, it's going to provide lots of delicious flavor. So we're going to start by searing the meat. I like to also wash the meat before I use it, so I'll wash it, just give it a quick rinse under cold running water, and then I'll use a paper towel to blot it dry, and then go into searing. That's beautiful. Add a little bit of vegetable oil. Just add a little bit of oil to my Dutch oven. I'm gonna add a little bit of sea salt and really rub it in. Not just sprinkle it, but really rub in the salt, so it really gets into the meat with a nice flavor. It's also going to end up giving it a nice browning. And when your Dutch oven is hot, you want to add the short ribs so there's a nice sear. And you want to sear them on all sides. Short ribs are quite large, so you don't want to overcrowd it, because if you overcrowd it, you're going to have water coming out of those short ribs, and you're going to end up stewing instead of browning. So just put just enough so you're not overcrowding the meat. So we're going to leave it in there so it's got a nice browning. We're going to brown it on all sides. Remove it. We're going to add the vegetables. We're going to add all the ingredients back into it. Give it a little bit of a mix. Cook it for about a minute or two. Add the meat back into it, and then we're going to put it in the oven. When you're searing the meat, you just want to leave it in there without disturbing it. Don't pick it up. Don't look at it. Really give it, a few good minutes to really develop nice crust. And then you're going to flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, and it really caramelizes and brings out greater flavor into the final product. I'm going to flip it over. Okay, we're taking out the short ribs. Going to add the vegetables, and we're going to give that a little bit of a stir. Just kind of start the cooking process. Obviously, the majority of the cooking is going to be done in the oven. It's going to be in the oven for about 3 hours at 325 degrees, just on regular bake. On a regular 325 degrees Fahrenheit, not on convection. And we're putting it on a lower heat for a longer period of time. That will add to the tenderness of the beef. The higher the heat, the faster it cooks, the harder those connective tissues become. The connective tissues of the beef, of the meat, tends to break down better on lower heat for longer periods of time. Beef stock powder and 1 cup of water. You can add beef stock, 1 cup of ketchup, 1/3 cup of red wine vinegar. Umami, which is a combination of shiitake, powdered shiitake mushrooms, and just a few other different ingredients. If you have a place to get it, I got this at Trader Joe's, but it's called Umami. Just like to add a little bit of that. Using dried onions. I just took the Dutch oven out with the beef. I had it in for about 4 hours, a little longer than I originally had intended. But I lowered the heat. I put it at 325. After 3 hours, I lowered it to about 300 and had it in the oven for another hour, so 4 hours in total. You can see how tender it is because you can see the meat literally falling apart. Look at the beautiful color. That's from caramelizing it, and the vegetables are nice and tender. Now let's plate it. Okay. I'm gonna put 1 rib, some of these vegetables. Well, look how hot that is. Wow. The smell, I wish you could smell this, but I encourage you to make it at home so you can have these delicious smells in your own house. Just put a little bit. And that's it. Look at that. Look how beautiful golden color the sauce is with all the combination of the ingredients that we had, and they all melt together to make a very warm and comforting type of meal. I encourage you to try it and enjoy this with your friends and family. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.